Within the Accion Bank, we could go on. Piano star 572 ash.
When you learn a corner, I look to Ramukude, I can Accion Bank dinner.
Má ṣe ìyọnu láti lọ sí ilé ìfowópamọ́ ìwọ ṣáà ti tẹ star 572 ash lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ.
Accion Microfinance Bank. My future is bright.
Nítòótọ́ ṣé pé tí mo bá ṣí àkáǹtì pẹ̀lú Accion wá máa máyé rọrùn fún mi.
Ina son iya karɓar kuɗin Accion Bank na yi amfani kai ƙara kasuwa ta.
Chai, Accion Bank ń kọ́ra ní ATM card.
No need to stress, I no need the stress. With Accion Microfinance Bank, I deal with the best, I no settle for less. Bank where they make me life better. With checking the money, you fit open accounts. Save money now to pay your bills. And you fit to get the loan to grow your business. Well, my future is bright, oh. My future is bright, oh. With Accion Bank. With Accion, oh.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me?
Morning.
Okay, morning. Thank you, Mr. Olabi. How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning to our esteemed customers. Thank you for joining us on the day 2 of this trading. We really appreciate your participation and we thank you for joining. We would like to give us about 3 more minutes, so we'll start about 10, exactly 10:10 to allow more participants to join us. Kindly bear with us, please. We'll join at exactly 10 minutes past 10. Thank you. And like we did yesterday, we have identified the first 5 participants to join, and then they'll be getting gifts from us, from Accion Microfinance Bank. So the first 5 customers that signed up would get gifts from us today as well. Thank you. Okay, I think we'll just start. Good morning once again, and thank you for joining us. This is the Accion MfB Konnect SME series. It's the first of its kind, and is actually for selected customers. It's an exclusive training for our SME customers, and we really appreciate you and thank you for joining. My name is Adetokunbo Elliott. I'm the head of value chain, partnership and product development in Accion Microfinance Bank. Just before we start, we are going to run a poll. My colleague will bring up some poll questions for you to answer. Please kindly answer those questions. It will take less than 2 minutes. It's actually for us to get to know you better, just to know how you got to know about the training, the particular sector you operate in, and a few other questions. It won't take too much of your time. So the poll questions are up. Kindly answer the questions, then we'll go into the business for the day. Thank you. Okay, so while we're also answering the questions, I would like us to please drop our email address, telephone number, and full names in the chat box. Like I said, we have identified the first 5 people to join the session, and the 5 of them will be getting gifts from us. So for us to be able to identify you and get across to you, kindly drop your email address, your full name and telephone number in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you, Modupeola. Thank you so much. Temeno, can you hear me? Okay. So we are waiting for us to wrap up with the questions. Please kindly answer the poll questions. You just need to know how you got to know about the training, the particular sector you're operating. Thank you. Thank you. Drop your details in the chat box as well. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I can see more people are still answering the questions. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so today's session promised to be very engaging and very insightful. So please permit me to welcome our facilitators from the Pandexia Limited. We have Mr. Peter Aishida, he's the CEO of Pandexia, and we have Mr. Benga Wolabi as well. Peter, are you ready for us today?
Good morning, Tokumo. Yes, I am.
Good morning. Thank you.
Yes, we are.
Okay. So I guess you have the permission to, you have the right to share already. So kindly go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, but can you just give me just one more minute? Let's just have more people. I can see a few more people that are here to complete the questions. Please give us just a few minutes. Thank you. Okay, before we go into the business of the day, can we all please let's have our cameras on so we can take a group picture. Please, let's have our cameras up so we can take a group picture. Please, let's have our cameras on. We would like to see your beautiful and handsome faces. Chuku Happiness, I'd like to see your face. Modukbeola, I'd like to see your face as well. Please, let's have our cameras on so we can take a group picture. Okay, Emmanuel, you say you're driving and you can't have your camera on. Okay, no problem. That's fine. Please be safe while driving. Thank you. Alatisha Sunday, I would like to see your face. Thank you, Modupeola. You're so pretty. Thank you. Mr. Fatoyinbo, thank you so much. Bolaji Joseph, please, I would like to see your face. David. I want to see your faces, everyone. Temenu, you're so pretty. Thank you for joining. Good morning, Florence. Please, can you have your camera on? We want to take a group picture, so we want to see your faces. Oh, I see, Florence. You said there's a blackout. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Admin, do you think we should go ahead with what we have? Chuku Happiness, I want to see your face.
Yes, we can go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, so are we ready for the picture? Okay, at the count, we'll count down to 5, from 5 to 0. Yes. Okay, so it's once I say 1, we all say cheese. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cheese.
We are good to go.
We are good to go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Okay, so Mr. Peter, you have the floor. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kubo. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to day 2 of the SME, this edition of the SME Clinic from Accion Merchant Microfinance Bank. And also day 2 of our Leadership and Entrepreneurship Advancement Program, LEAP, course titled Managing Business Cycles. I hope you had a restful night and you've started the day strong. For like we did yesterday, over the next 2 hours or thereabouts, we'll be going over what we believe are important points that are relevant for you in helping you manage your business through the business cycle. Okay, but before we do that, let's quickly go over a recap of the things we did yesterday. So yesterday we started off by putting the business or economic cycle in context. I reminded ourselves that cycles are naturally occurring phenomenon in natural human life. You have the weather cycle, water cycle, animal plant life cycle, etc., etc. So cycles are with us naturally, and in the economic and business sphere, it's no different. There will be business cycles. Some may be some cycles, the upswing may be longer than others, but eventually the businesses and economies around the world evolve and operate in its cycles. And so we said it's the fact that we're in the deep aspect or the recession aspect of the cycle is not in itself unexpected or unheard of. Okay, these cycles happen. What is important, like we said yesterday, is what do you as a business person do, and how do you manage your business in that cycle so that on the one hand, you avoid the cycle and the downturn in the business cycle affecting your business too negatively to the point where the business almost shuts down. I'm sure a number of us are aware of businesses that couldn't survive the COVID recession and lockdown and had to unfortunately be shut down. And that is an outcome that we want to avoid at all costs. The second option, the preferred option, second option is to restructure our business, reposition your business so that you're able to handle the cycle. Maybe you shrink in an area, you need to shrink, you adjust certain areas so that you are able to survive the downturn in the business cycle, which is the crisis/recession part, and then ride out that downturn to the point where the business or economy starts to recover again, and then you get into a period of hopefully some level of sustained expansion. Okay, so at the minimum, you want to organize yourself, restructure your business to survive. Preferably, however, you want to position your business as possible such that in the midst of a downturn, you are able to keep growing by identifying new markets or being able to pivot your business in ways that move you from an aspect or area of the economy that is heavily affected by the recession to areas that are not so heavily affected or actually growing as a result of the challenges and constraints of the recession. And so surviving the business cycle has to be our mindset. And then we talked about some simple acronym, STOP, that can be a useful tool in helping us take time to step back and understand the business cycle and environment, understand where we are, and plan for what we need to do. And then we went on into a simple, what I call a crash course, bring it to a crash course on the economy, understanding the dynamics of the economy and how they work from an academic perspective. And I hope it didn't seem academic to you, because the intention was to help you understand the dynamics, because your business operates within the dynamics of an industry, a market, and an economy. And when you understand the dynamics and what happens, you're able to understand how those dynamics impact you as a business person, how they impact your business. And so what are those indices and indicators you can watch out for to know where the environment, the economy is going, and begin to position and prepare. So we took time to understand the economy, and then we went on to look at how do you as a business person conduct an assessment of the environment. And we looked at the different aspects of the environment that affect you as a business person. The political, and we used a simple model called PESTLE, if you remember, PESTLE, which stands for the political environment. What are the issues in the political environment that may affect your business? Then the economic environment, what are the monetary policies, fiscal policies, and those that manage those things. What are they doing that affects the money supply, affects the economy at large, and then how does that translate to an impact on your business? Then we looked at the societal aspects of the environment, external environment, and then technology. How are the trends in technology? And we have seen, I'm sure all of us have seen, how increasingly technologies that we thought were distant and far are becoming a reality and very widely available in our environment, and how technology is impacting what we do, either by changing the dynamics of certain markets or indeed creating new opportunities for us to take advantage of. And we saw how the education sector had to leverage aggressively technology during the lockdown and the impacts of COVID-19 to continue generating some revenue for themselves. And without that technology, it would have been almost impossible for some of the educational institutions to survive or to continue, and not just to survive financially, but also to continue to deliver to your customers in a way that they would look elsewhere. Okay, so we saw that, and then we also saw how the environment and the health. When we say environment, we're talking about climate, the health and human services aspects, and how they impact issues around their impact us. And we saw that COVID-19 being a health challenge or a health crisis was an aspect of the an environment that impacted businesses, and it had its own ripple effects on other aspects, political decisions and technologies that had to be fast-tracked, etc. And the point of that was that we said, hey, very importantly, as a business person, it's important that you are not sitting inside of your business, overwhelmed by the operations of your business to the point where you are unable to step back and take a strategic view. Now, we didn't, please note, we didn't say you should not be involved in operations because it's your business. You have to set the pace in operations. You have to put controls in place. You have to set the standards and drive the business. But we said, hey, you have to do that in a way that you can organize yourself and your business so that in a way that you're able to do that, drive the business, but also you have the capacity to step back, understand the environmental factors that impact your business, and then proactively position yourself to take advantage of opportunities or to minimize potential threats in the environment. Okay, so we said understanding the environment as a business person is important. Being able to analyze those the trends and how they impact you. And remember, I did give an example or a hypothetical situation that imagine if somebody who was either in the food business or public education having heard of the increasing impact or spread of the virus in China and then in Europe, being able to say, hey, at that early stage, how if this thing comes here and we have to go into the same kind of lockdown situations that we saw other countries doing, how would that affect my business? And maybe that would have given you a head start of a month or 6 weeks to prepare and plan, position yourself so that the lockdown would have not had too much of an adverse impact. So understanding the environment is key, and being able to analyze it and then translate that analysis into possible scenarios of possible outcomes and what those outcomes mean for your business. That's the environmental analysis. And then we went on to look at, Mega then came back to take us to how you as a business person can reposition your business for recovery and growth. And then we rounded up by looking at some questions that help us to understand our business, understand where they are, where you are in the business, and the dynamics of forces that are affecting your business, with a view to using those questions or answers to those questions to begin to think about how to plan your business, how to reposition your business to be able to ride the wave or thrive even in a downturn. So that was what we covered yesterday. Today's session is going to be quite different from yesterday in that we're not going to drive it. It's not going to be heavily slide driven. So we've communicated a lot of the fundamental information we wanted to communicate yesterday. Today, we want to focus on the application of those principles, those concepts, those ideas, the knowledge that was communicated yesterday. And so we hope that you were able to look at some of those templates that were posted on the website of Accion and begin to think through for your own business some answers to some of those questions, reflecting on certain issues regards to your customer, your operations, your cash flow, etc. Okay, and if you are not able to do so, hopefully, as we take you through some of those questions or issues, then you can begin to answer them for your business, and hopefully that would help you to position yourself or begin the planning process. Also, we want to take as many of your questions. We hope you may have some questions you have from what we shared yesterday. I don't know what we shared, or even just some questions with respect to your business and managing your business that maybe have been a challenge for you that you can bring up now. I hope to be able to shed more light when we are able to and answer some of them. So this session today is going to be more discussion driven, and we would like to take your questions if you have them. Now, if you have questions, if you want to say your question, speak it out, you can kindly raise up your hand on the Zoom platform, and then we will unmute you, call you, and you can speak. If you would prefer, you can type it in to the chat box like we did a number of times yesterday, and we'll pick your questions from there and try to answer them. Okay, thank you, Mr. Peter Mbamo. Sorry, I don't know this. I'm not seeing the full second part of the name. You said you're happy to attend this very interesting meeting, and you wish we could have it again during Saturday to enable you participate more fully. Okay, hopefully, I'm sure as Accion continues with the SME clinic, I'm sure they will take that feedback into consideration. Thank you very much for that. So again, remember, this session is intended to be more interactive. If there are questions you have either on the things we covered yesterday or just questions generally about your business that you want to bring up, we will be glad to address them as we go along. Okay, so that's it. And you can go ahead and type at any point in time, you can type your questions or your comments into the chat box, and we'll pick them up from there. Thank you very much. So on that note, I'm going to hand over to Becca, but just before I do that, let me start you off with a simple assignment. Now, it's possible that not all of you that are here today were on the session yesterday, but for those of you that were on the session yesterday, can you kindly go to the chat box now and type in what was that one most important or most interesting or most insightful point you took from our 2-hour session yesterday? Whether it was one of the acronyms we talked about or something else that you heard, whatever it is, kindly go to the chat box now and just type in what was that one most important, most interesting, or most insightful point or piece of information you got from the session yesterday. Okay, so go ahead and type. We're waiting for your comments as we transition to Benga to take us through today. So we're waiting for your comments. Kindly go into the chat room and type. We would like today to be as interactive as possible. So please go ahead. So waiting for the first comment. What was that one most important, most interesting, or most insightful point you took away? And you can put it in your own words. If you don't remember the exact words we used to talk about it, you can put it in whatever your words you're able to recall. Okay, thank you, Mr. Luwale, for your comment. I missed that. Thank you for your comment earlier. Okay, so still waiting for your chat. It's ready. What was that one? Okay, Mr. Luwale, thank you very much. STOP, the acronym STOP. That is, stop what you're doing, think about the situation, observe, and actually plan. Yes, he said push, but it's actually plan. So that is, stop what you're doing when you're facing a crisis, when you're facing a downturn. Don't just, plug on, regardless. You may need to stop a bit. Now, stop doesn't mean shut down your business, but stop means step back from what you're doing and think. Observe your environment. Observe what is happening. What are the dynamics that you're dealing with? Understand them. And often, why it is important to stop is often many people say a symptom that they are dealing with in their business, but do not readily identify the root cause. And that's very important. The symptom may be maybe staff are not as responsive in your business as they should be. They're making all sorts of mistakes that you think they shouldn't be made, and those mistakes are beginning to cost you. So that may be a symptom that you observe, but there may be a more fundamental root cause of it. Why are these mistakes coming up and being so common at this time? Is it because I haven't communicated very clearly a standard of how to do this thing? And so, or is it that they are conflicting standards? So that's very important. Thank you very much. Oh, Mrs. Odu Modukwala, yes. Mokwelola, success doesn't come to you. You go after a success. Thank you very much. That was one of the first things and the first slides we used. That while change is inevitable, success is not necessarily inevitable. And you have to go after it. And you go after it by positioning your business as a business person, position your business rightly, understanding what is happening around you and understanding the dynamics of the environment. Okay? Yes. Can we have more comments or more comments? And remember, at any point in time, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to type them. If we have the answers, we'll be glad to share the answers we have with you. Okay, while we're waiting for that, I'll just call on Benga so he can take us through. And remember, you can type in your comments or questions at any time as we go along. Over to you, Benga.
Thank you, Peter, and good morning, everyone. Just like Peter said, I do hope you all had a very restful evening coming into today, and we'll be wrapping up today's session. It's going to be very interactive, so we would like you to pose your questions. Either you type them in the chat or you just raise your hand and you can then be unmuted. Just like Peter said, yesterday we went through a lot, but we wrapped up the whole session by looking at how you position your business for recovery and growth. The Nigerian economy is still in a period of recession now, meaning that there's a decline in our gross domestic product. There's a bit of squeeze, not much spending, and so the government and the central bank are doing everything that they can to stimulate the economy back into growth. That's why we find a lot of funds are being made available both to artisans, to MSMEs, and there's something called the Agnes Fund from the central bank. There's the MSME Survival Fund. There's the Youth Entrepreneurship Fund. The Bank of Industry also has numerous funds that are single digits. And of course, even our own banks are providing some form of cushion. A lot of our banks have also restructured existing financial obligations, for example, either by reducing their interest rates or elongating the repayment or giving a period of moratorium. So various interventions are coming, both on the demand side to put money in the hands of the people, and even on the supply side to help businesses weather the storm, so that all of these interventions can cumulatively encourage spending and give a good outlook of the future so that we can then reverse the recession. So as a business, you have to reposition yourself and take advantage, because the recession does not last for long. One of the things that has been done, particularly in the United States of America, where there is a lot of data and study, they have found that in America, and this is not necessarily what I would call predicting the future, but from previous data, they have found that the cycle is usually between 5 to 7 years. Between 5 and 7 years. And the time of growth is much longer than the period of recession. You know, the recession is always there, but the period of recession is less in terms of timing. Recession periods usually don't last more than a year or 18 months. Because of course, government will do everything to address recession. And so those periods of recession, 18 months, sometimes 8 months, 12 months, thereabout. But the period of growth is in the tune of 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, continuous period of growth. And so you can also rest assured that the recession in Nigeria will be reversed. The outlook is that by the second quarter of 2021, we should be out of recession and we should be going back into growth period for the economy. We should have some recovery and go into growth, meaning that there will be more money in the hands of people, spending will become available. That virtual circle, the virtuous circle that we talked about, the virtuous circle, not the vicious cycle, the virtuous cycle where there is money in the hands of people, therefore there will be more production, therefore there will be better employment and what have you, and then the growth will begin to happen in the economy. So you have to position your business to weather this storm. Okay? And we said we can look at these areas, respond to the current situation, recover, and then thrive. And in your recovery, look at your customers. We're all in business for the sake of our customers. And not only your customers, your cash flow, just like your blood is to your body, so also your cash flow is to your business. Cash flow is something you must manage in your business. If any business undergoes cash flow challenges, then that business will be having a bit of difficulty. Meaning maybe you're not making sales to generate revenue, or you're having too much expenditure or obligation that is overwhelming. So you need to manage your cash flow. Apart from your cash flow, you have your supply chain. The supply chain is how you get your products and then how you serve your customers. And even if you are in a service business, how do you create your inventory? For example, you'll be surprised that for people like us that are into consulting, and we offer knowledge as a service, our supply chain is inclusive of how current are we in the knowledge that we have. So we have to go for training, we have to go for conferences, we have to research, we have to read books. That's our supply chain. So we have an ecosystem of network of resources that we have to find ourselves and get current knowledge so that we can also understand the situations in our own local environment and be able to adapt that knowledge. And for us to serve our customers, we have to sell our proposition. So there's a supply chain, even for knowledge. So there is no business that does not have a supply chain. And understanding that supply chain is important, and asking yourself, how does disruption, how does recession affect my supply chain, and what adjustments do I need to put in place? All right. Then, of course, your workforce. And we've used different examples of how you can also change your workforce dynamics. So these are things you can do in your business to reposition when you begin to see what is out there. So we'll be waiting for your questions. Any questions you have, particularly relating to your business, this is the time to have discussion. All right. And we gave us a template that looks at each of these areas that says reflect on where you are today, restart what you can kickstart now, and then revitalize. And those questions are to kind of give you a sense of thinking about your business so that you can dimension your business properly and see what you need to do differently. So we'll be waiting for your questions this morning. Please ask your questions so that we can take it up and help you in the areas where it applies to you. Yesterday, I spoke about the 4 things you must make sure you are taking charge of for your business continuity. Your customer is the first, your product and services, having an inventory, keeping track, knowing your customers, KYC, who are buying, the impact of the economy on them, profiling your customer, having basic information, keeping record of your customer, even if it is just WhatsApp. You don't need a great database, just WhatsApp is enough, having the phone numbers or the email. Engage your customer. Don't do just transaction alone. Engage your customers. Have information about them, offer them some things. Then the inventory of your products and services. You need to know what your products and services are. The stock keeping unit, SKU, which ones are the ones selling, what is the velocity of your product, why do people buy your product and all of that. You need to refresh it. So you must have an inventory and the knowledge of your product. Then we spoke about data, having record, capturing data, keeping your books, having receipts for all your purchase, for all your sales, having invoices for all your purchases, keeping record of your employee and all of that, keeping your record because your bank wants to see your record and make sure that record is digitized. Try and digitize your record. Go away from manual or paper-based record. Digitize them with simple Excel or simple tools. Then, of course, the fourth one was our satisfied customer, products, your information. I'm even trying to remember the fourth one myself now. Now, I'm looking at, oh yeah, the cash flow. Thank you, Peter. The cash flow, I'm looking at it right in my front. Managing your cash flow, very important. Ensuring you keep a grip on your cash. That is what it is, that is the bloodline of your business. So please, let's bring the questions now. Let's go to our take-home activity sheet. Very simple questions. So are your customers aware of the impact of this economy on your business? What do they see? Are you in a business that you will call essential purchases for individuals or for businesses? Or are you in what is called the discretionary? So how do your customers react to your business? How do they see the impact of the disruption of the economy of your business? Are they aware of that impact? And are you also aware of how this affects your business? Do you know how your customers' behavior have changed? I mean, with COVID-19 and the lockdown and the health hazards, I mean, we thank God that we don't have much of that the situation in the developed world where we have very high level of transmission, and fatality that comes with it is also high. I mean, even though the COVID is in Nigeria and Africa, it's mild, so it's not as bad. But at the same time, our consumer behavior has changed because we're now in what is called the new normal. Social interaction, face mask, physical distancing, constraints in travels, and what have you, major things. So how has this affected your business? How has this impacted on your market, on your ability to sell or to exchange? Is your business dependent on physical contact? Or are you able to make your sale even without physical contact? Understanding all of these things is important to know what to do differently. We explained how restaurants, who people used to walk into the restaurant to eat, during the lockdown and even now, because of capacity issues and because of restriction to the number of people they can have in their restaurants, many of them have to change their model from walk-in customers to delivery, so that they can take the products to the customers wherever they are. And many of them also began to bring up training, offer training as supplementary. Even though they may be free, they then allow for people to order for the recipe or order for the food that they have trained on for them to taste. So do different things to get your customers to embrace your products and services and continue, rather than you depending on physical contact. So quickly, I'll be expecting questions. I haven't seen any chats come up yet. I hope it's not that I have missed something. Follow me, please say yes. You can hear me. If Can you hear me? Please say yes. I'm not quite sure. All right. Thank you. Thank you all for your response. Mr. Caleb Olutono. Thank you, Tokumbo. Thank you, Omolayo. All right, so I'm expecting your questions to come in now. Are there any areas of your business you would like us to counsel you on and share our thoughts on? In fact, with regards to the questions that we have asked, the questions in our worksheets. Otherwise, let me just introduce you also very, very briefly to, okay, how can I digitize my transactions? That's a very good question. Can you please, that's Mr. Oluwole, how can I digitize my transactions? May I ask, okay, for receipt and invoice. All right. How can I digitize my transactions, receipts and invoice? That's a very good question. Now, to digitize means to have a system that generates the invoice or the receipt from a digital device. Okay? To digitize this is to have a system that allows you to generate. Now, you can be surprised that that system can be just your basic computer having an Excel template. Just your basic computer having an Excel template. That is digitizing your transaction. But to digitize your transaction, for example, can we take advantage of the offering that is coming from our bank? The bank is positioning its customers to be able to link up with Jumia and sell through an e-commerce platform. So what that will do is, one, they will help you to capture your inventory so that you can put your inventory online, and then as you sell, the system will track what is your sales or what is the inventory left. Digitizing your transactions is really just adopting some form of basic technology. Basic. It does not have to be major technology, but just basic. First, you have to kind of try to find a way to capture your inventory in a digital format. Now, the inventory is a physical one. If your inventory is physical, if you are selling products, your inventory is physical. But what you are doing is counting that inventory into a system. Just counting it into a system to say this is the number I have, and managing your inventory from that system, and then generating your sales from that system. Now, even little things like selling online or using payment gateways to sell. So there are some gateways like Paystack, Flutterwave, PayPal, and a couple of them that are very, very affordable and cheap. In fact, they usually bring you on almost for free. They only take a very small portion of the transaction value as their own commission. So these payment gateways are also means that which you can digitize. What do these payment gateways do? What they do is they ask you to just have a simple website where you can put up your products and services, and they will connect their payment gateway to your site where you can make a sale on that site. All right? So these are very simple things, and they don't cost money nowadays. So it's important to recognize, and maybe I can quickly go to what I was going to share with us, the business model canvas, just to show us some elements of our business where we can look at ways by which we can improve. So in terms of managing a business, if you can identify these 9 blocks, look look at them and look at how am I performing? What do I do in each of these blocks? My customer segment, what am I offering these customers? What's my channel of engaging the customer? What are the touch points? What are the ways I engage the customer to come back and purchase from me? What are the resources I need and the activities that I carry out to deliver my product to the customer, and who are the partners that I require that work with me to accomplish this? So the gentleman I was talking about, digitizing my business, converting my invoice or my receipt to electronic systems, that's your resources. What resources do you need to digitize so that you go from manual or physical to digital? And I've said payment resources. How do you get payment? Rather than getting interesting. Even digitizing can just be by making sure that people transfer to you electronically. It's easy to capture and manage electronic transfers or your electronic system than managing cash. Cash can be a high risk, is subject to theft. Of course, there are risks with digital, but with a lot of systems that have been put to protect that risk, a lot of people who provide those things deal with all those risks by providing us with systems to protect. So it's not as risky as cash. Cash, anybody can put a hand in the till or remove the money on the way to the bank and all of that. So digitizing is just as simple as saying, get your payment through digital means, do transfers. When you want to pay, also try and do transfers, okay? Like I said, try and capture your inventory online. Just capture them by counting and putting the record on a system, a basic system like Excel, and manage from that Excel. And use that to begin to see what is your inventory on a month-on-month basis or on a day-by-day, rather than just on a paper where it is difficult to analyze. So basic things like that are what we mean by digitizing your operations. Just basic things like that. Okay. I hope that answers that question. Yes. Peter would like to make some contributions.
Okay, let me just add a quick comment to that. It's very obvious, but it's worth pointing out. Now, for you to digitize your operations, invoices and receipts, that means also means that you have to be reachable on a digital platform, and you have to be able to reach your suppliers or your customers on a digital platform. So you need to look at your business, and I don't know what business you are in, but you need to look at it and be sure, how am I reachable? So those that I want to issue receipts to, etc., I need to reach me digitally so that I can then reach them digitally with the receipts. So that's where, like I said, basic websites or your internet connection with your Excel spreadsheet that is done up so that you can receive an email request and put it in there, etc. So that's probably where you need to, in addition to something I said, you need to answer that fundamental question. Am I reachable digitally from a business perspective? And can I reach others? Is there a dedicated platform, be it an app or a website or what have you? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Oluwole. Please, we would like to get your questions. We want this session to be very interactive. What has been the impact of this lockdown or the new normal on your business? Whatever that business is, how do your customers interact with you now from the previous times? Has there been change in the behaviors of your customers, and what are you doing to adapt to those changes? It's very important. Before now, we all know that everybody that goes to school, I can say for a fact that as many as 95% of people that were going to school, whether you were doing your primary education or your preschool or your secondary or your university, every student was having to go to a physical location that was called school. parents will drop off their children or school buses will pick up the children to go to school. But in 2020, in a space of 6 months, at least in Nigeria, unfortunately, this is still more or less in the private sector, not necessarily in the public schools yet, but then the public schools are working assiduously to adopt that system. Most of the children now are going to school from staying at home and attending their classes online. And we said those classes could be as little as just WhatsApp. Teachers recording video into WhatsApp and posting it to the parents for them to play to their children, giving assignments, giving the class lectures, and then asking the students to post back their responses or to write their answers and send it back by email. Just that basic form of engagement has moved the fact that education is no longer to be delivered 100% in a physical location. Even for our workplaces, the concept was, I am going to work. So you leave your house and you go to work. So we had what was called workplace. But now, workplace is being replaced by workspace. Whatever space you have that you can access your organizational resources and carry out your work is what it is that is now called workspace, no longer workplace. So people are now working from home, and it has become a concept that is acceptable to everyone. So how has this affected your business, and what are you responding to do? If you have not yet determined your response, ask your questions. We can guide you on how to respond. We've even spoken about event managers. Before the COVID, most events were done physically. A lot of professional bodies hold their conferences physically. They get an event manager. The event manager knows all the different service providers, caterers, logistics, security, and they coordinate all those events to conduct the conference in a physical location. Weddings were also being conducted like that, receptions, baby naming ceremonies, bridal showers, birthdays. But today, we are now finding that events are now a combination of physical and online, digital, a combination. So if you cannot physically be observed at the event, there are now login links that are provided for you to be part and parcel of those events. And some events are virtual, 100%. And so things are changing and businesses have to readapt. So what we're asking you to tell us is, what are the areas of the impact to your business, and what are the areas of ideas you would like us to share with you?
Let me also maybe raise another question that if you haven't thought of as a business person, you probably should be thinking of, or if you've thought of and maybe you haven't quite answered it yet, then it's something that you should be working on. And that is, as a result of the COVID-19, the lockdown, etc., a lot with the lockdown where particularly in Lagos, everyone was shut down. I'm not sure if I'm being heard. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, thank you very much. I seem to have lost my own audio. Okay, now, what point I wanted to make was, if you are, thank you very much, I got that feedback. Now, if as a result of the lockdown, certain things happen, certain things happen very suddenly and very dramatically. There were several significant changes in the environment forced on us by, thank you very much, Mrs. Stavendo, Denike. There were certain changes forced on us by the lockdown and the restrictions that went along with it, in terms of not going out at all, first of all, and then even going out, limiting the interactions, etc., the question that I think you should be asking if answering is now. A lot changed as a result of what happened then. Now that there's been a largely initially gradual and now situation have been eased, many things have changed back. But you as a business person, you probably need to ask yourself one question. Which one of these changes was very temporary? In other words, you anticipate that things will go back. They have already gone back to exactly what they were before the lockdown, or they are likely to go back in the near future to almost exactly what it was before the lockdown. Which one of those changes where things will go back, but it won't be quite as it was before? And which one of those changes is probably here to stay on the long haul? Okay, so that's the question. For your business, now, have you asked yourself, which one of those changes that happened, and again, many of those changes and the impacts will differ depending on your business. Which one of those changes was only very temporary and is going to go back to the way things were fully in a very short while? Which one of those changes will be reversed, but not completely to where it was before? And which one of those changes is here to stay? I think that is a very important question that as a business person, you should be asking and you should be answering. So for example, the example we gave about education and the rush to online education, etc. How much of it is going to go back to exactly as it was before? How much of it will change, go back, but there will still be some vestiges, etc. Okay. Again, looking at the way you access your customers in terms of get your customers or deliver your service or your goods to them. As a result, again, of the lockdown, many of you had to make some changes to how you do that in terms of delivery, in terms of online, etc. Okay. Now, which one of those changes? Which one of those changes is going to stay the same? Because your answer to those questions then prompts or should trigger in you the immediate question of how does that affect my business? Okay, so we may not have seen that final landing point yet, but you need to anticipate. I'll give you an example. I think many more people learned to use digital modes of payment when the banks were shut. And they started discovering and establishing and dusting off digital modes of payment. Now the question is, are people that were using those digital modes of payments going to go back to what they were doing before, or is the digital payment going to linger on, or is it the fact is that in quote the new normal? And thankfully, Accion as a microfinance bank has all sorts of digital payment platforms, USSD, that I'm sure Tokunbo will talk about later on. But that's an important question to answer, because like I believe Soluwole asked earlier, how can I digitize my invoice, my receipts, etc.? If payments are going to be digital from a distance, etc., if that's the new normal, then you have to have your own structures in place to easily get paid and to do your reconciliations almost automatically on the spot, make it easy for you to track, keep track of transactions, etc., and all those things that are implications of digital payments. Okay, so if you are being paid digitally, but a number of your suppliers, you still have to pay them cash. For example, if you're into the restaurant business or food business and you're still paying cash, but you don't have cash, then that may also affect how you structure your operations. Maybe before you use the cash you received from your customers to go ahead and pay your suppliers, and it was straightforward. Now you're being paid more digitally, but your suppliers may be suppliers that are still requiring cash payments, and so there may now need to be a slight adjustment in how you do that transition. Okay, so that's I think an important point to think about. That's an important point to think about, as we go along. So I'll hand over to Binga. But again, that's another thing that if you haven't thought of it, you should think about it. And then more importantly, what are the implications? What does that mean for your business?
Thank you, Peter, for those insightful contributions. So I'm going to be calling us out one by one now, so I could get questions or anything. Mr. Bolaji Joseph, any particular thing you'd like us to talk about? Please, can we just type in our lines of business so we are also very clear? I know we've taken it in a poll, but the poll result is not out. We were able to relate to each of the lines of our business. What exactly do we do, Mr. Oni or Taiwo Oni? Let me just say, let me not assume it's Mr. Oni, but Taiwo Oni. What's your line of business? So that our answers or our questions or our conversations can be a bit more specific to the areas of our businesses that we're involved in. So please type your line of business. Remember, you need to take advantage of this opportunity so that we can get, okay, trade and commerce. I would like you to be a bit more specific so that we are also aware. Thank you, Education School owner, that is very good. Trade and commerce is broad. If you can give us more indication of your type of trade. So is it fashion? Is it foodwear? Is it food? Or is it retail? So when you say trade and commerce, give us a bit more specific so we know how to hold down to that. Sales of menswear. Thank you very much. Fashion. Absolutely wonderful. So for example, let me even start with that. For Mr. Uloli, I must ask, in the part of our digitizing of our business are things like using some basic social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, and then going to marketplaces like Jumia or Konga, trying to enlist yourself on such. But the one who can control, if you're not even going to someone's third-party marketplace, is to have Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, taking pictures of new items and sending to your customers. So you can imagine now, if you don't have customer information, if your business before has always been on people just walking in, transacting and walking away, and you could not guarantee a repeat sale, then that means you are not dealing with those who are buying from you as customers. Customers are those who have information about that you want to make them come back and buy from you, to repeat purchase, to have a proposition to them that makes them keep coming back to you. It could just be your want. It could be the ambience of your sales location. It could even be the various categories of fashion items that you are stocking. So all of these things will set you apart from every other person. It could be for discounting, it could be for payment, allowing them to just pay you some part payment. So whatever it is that makes you unique, getting yourself endeared to your customer and being able to reach your customer without them physically coming are things that you must introduce to your business. So there's so much that can be done. And so that even if the kind of wares you are selling may be what you will call discretionary items, because if I'm selling things that are maybe fashion outfit for events and there's not much event happening, people may say, okay, in recession, I'm now going to tighten my belts and focus a bit on essential sales and not discretionary sales. How do you, as a fashion retailer, now change your model so that your customers can still avail themselves to you? You need to create some additional services that enlightens them, on how to use their wares for occasions. Create some additional information that helps them to know what they can do with what is existing in their hands, or even do bundles of sales. Maybe you combine things and say, this is going off for limited amount. So those are things that you can use to get their attention and to keep telling them, while I know you are tightening your belts, you may get advantage of opportunity. Come and take advantage now, it's limited. Just to at least keep your own business afloat till the period of the recession is over. You could go into backward integration. Maybe you say, okay, how can I, rather than bring these fashion items from outside of the country, find the local versions that are also of equal quality and begin to stock them so that my pricing comes down a bit and becomes a bit more affordable. You have to think through other things. Now, I see that we have a lot of school owners here, education and school owners, which is interesting. So I would like to know, again, from the school owners, what has been your response to the lockdown? Have you also gone digital, like we've been talking about? What has been your response? Or are you still fully class-based? In my own children's school now, even though they are running their school physically, they run it as a blended version. So they have some days on campus and then some days they do it online from home. Again, because we know that the social interaction of children is still part of their education. So they have to physically come and interact socially, meet with their teachers, meet with their friends. Play is part and parcel of learning. So we can't do without the physical, but it's now a blended combination of one day at school, one day off online. And that's their reality now going forward, because they have only a limited amount of space that they can accommodate the children, and they want to ensure that they are still keeping the physical distancing and all the other non-pharmaceutical protocols that they need to do. So for the educationists among us, what are the things that you are doing now based on the situation you find yourself? Now, like I mentioned, I think yesterday, in the school, they allow for sibling discounts. If you bring your child to our school and you have more than 2 children, you get a discount on the third one. And so that's also another way to endear yourself to the parents. For school owners, if you look at your assets, which is the school building, what else can you do with your school building other than it being a location for learning for the children? What else can be done? School building, because that school building must generate income. So some are using it for rental to other activities, either religious or social, like weddings. Some are using their sports or recreational facilities for birthday parties for children in their school or any other child in the neighborhood. So how else can you use the assets and the physical location of your school to extend to other services that can generate income that is not only from when the children are paying their school fees? You must be thinking about these things. They're quite important. So you can see that you have to look at your business and ask yourself, what other ways can I extend this business, the asset I have? What other ways can I extend it? Even our school buses, for example, children are on holiday. Some organizations, some schools put their school bus under a third-party logistics provider. They don't, they use stick-on, they don't paint their school names on their buses. They use more like stick-on posters for when the school bus is in use by the school. But when the school bus is not in use by the school, they just remove the posters with the school name, the branded posters, and make the buses non-branded, and they put them under third-party logistics providers who are able to rent out those buses for charter trips. Those who want to go on charter trips, either within the local environment or outside. Again, what additional income can be generated from your assets is important to look at these things, and then, of course, have processes in place that will help you manage that. So ultimately, what they're saying is this: understanding the economic cycle and the impact of the economy on your business, you need to also begin to look at other ways by which, depending on when that cycle is, you can adapt that business to keep you sustained, at least to weather that period of the recession that will be happening. I hope you are getting some points from that, from those of us who are in the education. I've only seen education and fashion wear, and then trade. Okay, that's even the fashion wear. Can we have the others put in your areas of business, or our examples are more specific to your business area? I have not heard from Mr. Bolaji. Mr. Bamidele also, can we know what your line of business is? And then Larry, Mr. Eckert, please can you share your lines of business so that we can give our examples specific to those areas? And then Mr. Kai, well, not Mr. now, but Kai Woli, I'm not very sure whether you're a Mr. or a Mrs. or the gender. But please share your lines of business. Taiwo, please share your line of business. Type the business you are doing. Okay, you are into IT. Now, can you be more specific? Are you offering your IT services, or are you selling? Wow. Mudukola is into recycling of waste materials. That is interesting. So you are in the green economy, recycling economy. Please, can you help us? Is that solid waste? All right, Taiwo is offering services and sales. Florence is selling, okay, children's shoes and bags and baby wears. Excellent question. Okay. Good. Now, let me address Florence's question. And this is a very important area that we need to bring up for us. When you talk about money in your business, money in our businesses, you have to recognize that the application of money in our business.
Hello, sorry, Mr. Olabi. I think you should read out Florence's question so everybody has an understanding of what she wants.
I will read out the questions. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
I will do that. Thank you. Yes, so Florence is saying, at what point should I add more money to my business? At what point should I add more money to my business? I was going to say that, first of all, before I answer the question about at what point to add the money, I want to first of all highlight how money is utilized in your business. How money is utilized in your business. Now, please recognize this. When you are applying money to your business, think of it this way. One, you apply money to your business in what is called your operating cash flow. Your operating cash flow. Or you apply money to your business on what is called your growth cash flow or growth capital. Those are the two ways to apply money to your business. Your operating cash flow or your growth cash flow. When you want to apply money. So what are the differences between these two types of applying money, just in a basic way? The operating is what you use money for to actually carry out the business. I will explain what a business is, different from your organization. A lot of people do not understand the difference between the two. There is a difference between your business and your organization of the business. Yes, you have to organize your business, but what is important is to first of all do the business. So Florence is selling children's shoes and bags and baby wears. Florence has customers that have need of children's shoes, bags, and baby wears. Florence has the product, which is the children's shoes and bags and baby wears. And Florence knows where she is getting these products from in a particular location or country or wherever, whereby she's able to sell onto the customers with a profit. What I have just described is the business that Florence is into. How do I get these products and how do I give them to the customers with a little margin and profit? That's different from organizing the business. Organizing the business now could mean, do I need a sales girl to support me? Do I need a car to get these products and to deliver? Do I need a shop to rent so that I can put the products in there and then people can come to me and all of that? All of those other resources that are not in themselves the actual thing that you are selling and buying are the things that relate to your organizing the business. So those are some of the things that help you to grow your business. Okay? When you organize it, they help you to grow, because what one person can sell, 2 or 3 or 4 people should be able to sell more. So you need to organize your business sometimes to grow your business. What you can achieve in one shop, maybe if you have 3 or 4 shops, you can achieve more. So listen again, like I said, there is applying money to your actual business, your operating cash flow. There is also applying money to your growth business, organizing the business. Many times, people apply money to organizing their business. They don't apply the money to the actual business that they are doing. To apply money, to know when to add money, you need to ask yourself, 1, the business that I'm doing, at what level am I doing it? So I'm selling bags and shoes and baby wears. How much quantity am I selling per month? Okay, that's your inventory. How much am I selling per month? How much do you buy that inventory? How much do you sell the inventory? You can apply money to increase your inventory so that you can sell more. If the demand is high, you can increase your inventory and sell more. That is not the same as getting a new shop or hiring another sales girl. Getting a new shop, hiring another sales girl, getting your own vehicle, or getting a generator, those are money that has to do with organizing your business, not the business itself. So sometimes you need to ask, where is the growth going to come from? Is it that I'm getting a lot of demand in my actual business and therefore I need to increase my inventory to sell more? Or I'm not able to organize well and therefore I am missing out on sales? People are not coming because I'm not organizing well. I am in a location where there is no electricity and I don't have a generator so people cannot come. Or my shop is too small and I cannot attend to more than 1 or 2 customers. So you need to know exactly where your pain point is. If it is in the area of your actual business, you have to ask yourself, how long does it take you to sell your inventory? If your inventory is 2 weeks or 1 week or 1 month or 2 months, only when you finish selling can you now go back and buy more to sell again. You can say, okay, I may need more money to improve the level of my inventory so that I have it enough for a longer time. That is when you can add money to your business. So depending on where exactly you need that business, that money is what will tell you where you should add it. If you need more inventory so that you can sell for a longer time before you go and buy again, then you need to know what is my current inventory, what is my sell down of that inventory, so that I may need more money to buy more inventory to have a longer time of selling down, so I don't keep going back and repeat purchase for too early months time and for too much of time of repurchasing. Okay? Or is it that, oh, I'm not getting enough sales because of my location, or I don't have enough hands, therefore I need to expand. But more often than not, please focus on putting money on your actual business, not on the organizing your business. People have put money on organizing their business, but the actual business itself has been starved of money. So you have this very fancy store with very little products inside it. You have 3 or 4 sales girls, but there's no sales to sell. Okay, so it's important to balance that. Put your money in your business first before you put your money in organizing the business. And to know when to add more money to your business is to know how much inventory and how long it takes you to sell. And therefore to ask, do I want to have a longer time to sell? Or do I want to have a shorter time to sell? And then deciding what to do with that. I hope that answers your question. Let me look at other questions that are coming in. We're into hospitality, oil and gas and importation, okay, selling laptops and repairs, okay. Please tell us what you think about training. Okay, that's the question from Microfinance Bank. School owner, fantastic. Okay. Thank you. Okay, fantastic. All right, so that's the only question I've gotten so far. But let me try and give some examples to those of us in our other areas of business. And this applies to many of us, school owners. What is the business of school? And then how do I organize the school? The business of school, first and foremost, is identifying the students that will come. Number 2, identifying the curriculum that we sell. Now, what is the curriculum? Many of us do what is called our national curriculum, that is Nigeria's educational curriculum. But some other schools say no, we are doing more than the national curriculum, we are also doing the Cambridge curriculum or the baccalaureate curriculum. So they add some curriculum to beyond just the normal national curriculum. Now in the area where your school is, you look at the profile of the customers and the children and those who are in that vicinity, and you see that, oh, these people like to send their children abroad, or they are well exposed, and therefore they want more than just the national curriculum. So knowing your target customer, the students are going to reach, knowing the curriculum you are going to deliver, and then the teachers that will deliver that curriculum, that is really our business. That is the core business. And of course, having the materials, the teaching aids, and the teaching materials. Now, organizing your business is the size of your school, size of your classroom, how many classes you're going to have, the location of the school itself, and then things like school bus or playground and all the other things that you need to augment that very particular core business. So understanding how to apply your money is very important. If you pay your teachers well and you are able to deliver a high level of curriculum, and your students are having a high pass rate or admission rate, that is what parents are looking for. Yes, in addition to that, they now want a conducive environment that has sports field and all the other things that are like additions, that have school bus. But imagine you spending money on school bus, having a good playground, having a good classroom, but your teachers are not very good. You're not paying your teachers well, you can't keep your teachers. No matter they come, they get a better place somewhere, they move on. You are only doing the local curriculum. And even the local curriculum, the students are not that passing well because you are not getting good teachers. While people can be attracted with all of the organization of your school, over a longer time period, you will not be able to stay because the real core business of educating the children has been starved. So understanding your operating cash flow, your real business, different from the organizing your business, is also very important when you want to apply money. Very, very important. The same thing goes with hospitality, oil and gas. Understanding what that core, what am I trading in exchange for value? Then what do I now need to trade? That's the secondary thing. Make sure you are focused on the exact thing you are trading and differentiate yourself in how you are trading that thing. Now, differentiate yourself more in that thing itself than in the things you need. Those things you need are also important to differentiate yourself. So I can't take away the issue of ambience and all of that. I mean, I've seen many good hotels. You walk into a hotel, good building, nice furniture, but the service is balloon. You are asking for something, it takes hours to respond. There's something that is not doing well there, they don't come and reply it. The people are rude. With all of those fancy buildings, and people will not come. But imagine you not necessarily having a great ambience, maybe an average ambience, but the people that actually deliver the hospitality, right from the door, they are warm, they are welcoming, they know the names of the people that are coming. And they know when you came the last time, and they are appreciative of you. You know, they respond quickly, the kitchen is working quickly, the food is hot. That whole service is delivered. Now, that is the service I'm offering. The organization of that service, as important as it is secondary. So we need to understand the core of our business and apply our finances so that we don't lose out on the cash flow. What will generate the cash flow? Many times we tie down our money in the organization. People tie down their money in the shop. You pay 1 year rent. There is no stock in the shop. So customers come, they look around, they don't see what they are looking for. They will go away. How about if you have put more money in your stock than the shop itself? Yes, it's good for the shop to be nice, and I'm not taking that away. It's good to put air conditioning in your store, fantastic. But what people are coming for is not the air condition, it is the product you are selling, the range of the product, the pricing. The fact that your products are not on the shelf for too long, they don't look dirty. The fact that you can generate a quick velocity of your product, and you're not selling almost expired products. So people will come when you focus on your core business, and then you then look at how to improve the organization of your business. So don't put too much attention on your organization. Put your attention on the core business and make sure you do it well. All right, let me see if there are any other questions. All right, putting multi-natural business first. Thank you. I know you're getting that understanding. So please study your own business and be clear. What is it you are exchanging in terms of the real value? Be very clear about it. All right? And it's good to put money in the organization, but don't do that at the detriment of the core business. Now, when you want to expand, your expansion sometimes must come based on the organization. But make sure that before you expand with your organization, you also know that you already have the volume of business that expansion will take care of. I have known some people who went from 1 store to 5 stores. And by the time they were doing the 5 stores, they were doing 5 stores with the same inventory that they had in 1 store. So the inventory is now scarce, very small in the 5 stores. And so the growth they thought they had by adding more stores is not there because the business itself did not rise up to that store that they have now done. And it now becomes very difficult for the people to come in and be transacting more business. So you need to understand even your growth to make sure that the growth of the business, the one that brings you the money, what are they paying for? Grow that first before you now start growing how you expand the business, how you organize that business. So it's better to get access to more teachers, have overcapacity of teacher, and have your curriculum and all of that before you increase the classroom. If you increase your classrooms and you cannot secure the teachers, then you just have a lot of classrooms, but the teachers to teach the children are not there. So when you know you have excess capacity of teachers already, then you can increase your classroom. You can go to a higher level of organizing the school. But it's important to differentiate between the core business and the organizing our business. People put money in organizing their business, they don't put money in the actual business. So please note that. Organize your business well, spend some money there, but spend the money more in the business itself. That thing you are transacting in exchange for value. Always know it. What am I transacting in exchange for value? If I'm dealing with physical goods, it is your stock. Make sure you have the right stock, the class of stock, Make sure you have high velocity of turnover. Spend money on what it is that people will be able to come and buy. Many times, when you have put too much money on the organization, remember you have to get the money back. So the money you have put on the organization is what you now put on the product that makes your product more expensive. And sometimes that itself may drive your customers away. May not allow your customers to come. Okay? So it's also important to note that. And please balance your business to the profile of your customer. Know those who are attractive. Very important. Because the same people that are selling cars to like Mercedes-Benz or Rolls-Royce, the people who buy such cars are not the same as those who buy Toyota or Kia or Hyundai, and they are both cars. So when you know your customer profile well, you know your customers well, and what they need, you can serve them with what they need. So it's also important to balance and align your business to your customers. So understanding the customer and knowing your customer is primary, even when you are going into business. That's why if you look at that business model canvas we were showing to you, I will go back there. It talks about customer segments. That's the primary thing you must know as a business person. Your customer segment is very, very important. All right, there's another question. Spend part of your personal money on organizing the business. Wow. You know, there shouldn't be anything called personal money. The moment that money has been spent on the business, regard it as the business money. Of course, many times our businesses begin with our personal money. That is how much you inject your initial capital. Even when you want to expand, you will need to bring in personal money. Excellent. But the moment is no longer, it's now being spent on the business, do not regard it as personal money anymore. It is now the business money, and the business must generate the return. So, like I was saying, when you have put your money into your business, whether it was in organizing the business or in the actual business, at the end of the day, the product you are selling must recover that cost. Okay? So, why your products become more expensive may be as a result of your excessive spending on organizing your business rather than on the business itself. But at the same time, know fully well that you must know the customers you are serving. So when you look at Mercedes-Benz, you look at Rolls-Royce, you look at all of those luxurious Land Rover, those luxurious vehicles, you will know that it is not only the sales room where they sell those luxurious items, they may sell them in a hotel or in a high point place, but the vehicle themselves already have the quality, the luxury quality that the customer is looking for. So yes, they sell them in hotels, they put them in the first class lounges of the airport. You know, the channel where you can buy those things are not your regular streets. It's not a regular street car lot. I agree. So they will spend money on organizing it, but the product itself, they already spent money also on the product, targeting it at the customer segment. So if you are going to sell to very high network individuals, your teachers in a school must be able to interact with such people. You can't have teachers in your school who don't have self-confidence, who cannot speak at least English with the right ethics and the right dictions, you know, and even their outlook with their dressing and carriage, who cannot use computers and social devices to engage the customer profile. So when you know your customer profile, then your product must match that profile. And then you can talk about organizing and spending money around the organizing. But many times we mismatch the organizing even with the core business. Many times we are spending money on our organizing because we think that will give us a competitive edge. Or you want your store to look like everybody else's store or to be better. But the product inside are not things that have attracted The kind of people that will buy from you. If you are selling foreign products, you know, goods from foreign locations, I can understand that. Making your shop very, very well presentable. If you're not selling brand, you're selling commodities, you know, then you're now making your shop highly presentable, air conditioned, lighting, and everything. You will put that cost on the products you are selling, and your customers are going to be discerning. This thing is so expensive. They will go away. So matching all of that is also very important for us to do it. Please, let's balance between when we spend money on our business versus spending money on our organization. All right, let me see if there's any other points. Prince, we apologize. This session is being recorded, so I'm sure we'll be able to find these recordings online and we'll be able to go over it again. Tokubo, there are no questions coming in. I don't know if you would like to market some of our products for Accion, but also help our business people, our customers to know these things that we have been talking about. Thank you for your feedback. We really appreciate all your feedback. And we hope that this has been quite insightful for you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Olabi. Yes, thank you. Let's have more questions from the participants, please. But while we are waiting for your questions, I'll just like to quickly run us through some of the things your bank, Accion, has been doing. So talking about innovation, we are currently in partnership with Jumia. So Jumia is an online e-commerce store that allows merchants, sellers to sell their things online, their products online, and then you deliver to your customer's doorstep. So what we are doing in Accion is we are onboarding interested customers who want to sell online. Well, a colleague of mine is going to drop the link in which you can, if you're interested, just click on that link and then you can join the Jumia family. So with that, you are able to sell your goods online, even when there's a lockdown or there's restriction, a state restriction or national restrictions, you can still make sales while at home. And again, what we are also doing is we currently offer digital loans to customers. So with our digital loan, you can access between 50,000 and 150,000. All you need to do is you can apply via our USSD *572#, or you apply on our mobile app. You can easily download our mobile app through your Play Store or Google Store. Then you can also apply via our website, which is ibanking at accionmfb.com. So like I said, innovation is very important. We need to go digital if you want to scale up in your business and thrive in your business, especially with this new normal that we are currently. Things are changing. We need to embrace digital. We need to embrace technology. Try and move your sales online. For those that are online, try and move your sales online. Try and digitalize your products and your services. It is very important for us to thrive in this trying period. I don't know if we have more questions from the participants. Okay, so the link has been dropped. To be part of the Jumia onboarding process, there's a link in the chat box. Please kindly click on it. We'll get in touch with you. Okay, there's a question from Mr. Taiwo. He says, please, can I have access to the tune of 1.2 million to boost my business? Sure, Mr. Taiwo. We will get in touch with you, and you can also approach your branch. But you can drop your telephone number in the chat box. I will give you a call so we can speak further on that. Please drop your details in the chat box. I'll get in touch with you. Or you can easily contact okay, thank you, I've seen that. You can easily contact your branch and then they will provide guidance. But I'll give you a call shortly after this session. Let's have more questions, please. Yes. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that we'll be giving out certificates to the participants, certificate of attendance. So please, if you haven't dropped your details, we need your full name and your email address so we can email you your electronic certificates. You can also have access to our digital loan via the bank's website or the bank's iBanking platform. So it's https://ibanking.accion.mfb or our USSD code *572# or our mobile app. Thank you. Please drop your details. Okay, Mr. Taiwo, I'm going to give you a call after the session. Thank you. More questions, please. Okay, so I think we can bring up the next, the poll question, the second poll question. Admin, please, can we bring that up? Thank you. Okay, yes, Modupeola, yes, you can. You can. I'll also give you a call. I've taken note of your number. I'll give you a call after the session. Yes, you can. You can have access to loan to purchase equipment. Okay, Balaji, you said we didn't respond to your question earlier sent. Please, can you resend the question, please? I'm sure we must have missed that. Or do you want to, yes, can you, or you want to speak? If you like to speak, can you raise your hand so we can unmute you?
I think he dropped off at a point, so maybe his question didn't come through.
Okay, okay.
Just very recently.
Okay.
So, Mr. Joseph, can you please retype your question or maybe verbally ask it?
Okay, the poll question is still up. Please kindly answer the questions. Let's have your feedback concerning the session. Thank you. Okay, yeah. So I mentioned earlier that we have winners for today. The first 5 people that signed on. I have Adenike Temenu. I have Igwe Uchena Joseph. We have Chuku Happiness, Peter Obama, Kondukas Enterprise. Those are the 5 winners we have for today. They were the first 5 people to sign up in the morning. Adenike Temenu, Igwe Uchena Joseph, Chuku Happiness, Peter Obama Onyeku, and Kondukas Enterprise. Thank you so much. Thank you. The poll questions are still up. Please kindly answer the questions. We need your feedback. It's very important for us. Please kindly share your feedback with us. The poll questions are up.
That's fine.
Can we all see the poll questions? Because I can see that only 2 people have actually answered the questions. Can we all see the poll questions? Please, your feedback is very important to us. Thank you. The number is increasing. Please, we need your feedback. Kindly answer the questions. Thank you. Okay, yes, Bolaji, thank you. I've seen your question. So you want Accion to increase your loan capacity as more businesses are coming your way with better interest rates. Okay, this is noted. I'll also give you a call. Can you drop your number if you haven't dropped it? I'll give you a call after the session. Your feedback is noted. Thank you. Kindly answer the questions, please. The poll questions are still up. Okay, so Konduka's Enterprise, we need your full name for the benefit of the electronic certificates. Can we have your full name, please? Konduka's Enterprise. We have somebody labeled Konduka's Enterprise. Please, let's have your full name so we can insert same in on your certificate. Thank you. We need you all to drop your details, your full name and email address so we can email your certificates to you. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you. The questions are still up. Have you seen it? Are you up? Are you on? Okay, thank you so much for the questions. Thank you for filling the poll questions. We have a few more people that are yet to answer the poll questions. Please do. Thank you. Thank you, Bolaji. Thank you. I've gotten your telephone number. Thank you. Thank you, Konduka's Enterprise. We have your full name now, Unduka Comfort. Thank you so much for joining. We'll email your electronic certificates to you shortly. Thank you. Okay, so Mr. Wolabi, are you done with this session? Or do you have, are you done with, yes, you are, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I would have the Chief Commercial Officer. I'll have the Chief Commercial Officer give the closing remark. NWC, we welcome you. Okay, admin, please, can you unmute NWC, please? Admin, can you unmute NWC? Thank you. Are you unmuted now?
So, yep.
Okay, thank you, NWC. Welcome.
Thank you very much, our esteemed customers and participants. Thank you very much, the facilitators. Thank you to Kumba and team. The 2-day session has gradually come to an end. But like I mentioned yesterday, what is important is what do we take out of it? And like I also said this, I know we all came with various aspirations. I want to believe the aspirations were met. And if it was met, I'm glad. From my side, my all expectations is to see increased business activities, is to see increase in your loan request from Accion, is to see our business blossom even more than it was pre the pandemic. And it will be to use the remaining period of this year to fix all that went wrong, so that when we come back in January, it will be a great new year for our business and for all our endeavors. So again, I want to thank you for taking time out to be part of this. I want to believe it was as interactive as we promised. But then what is important is to ensure that whatever knowledge that you have gained here is applied very quickly. And like I have said, we are partners in progress. So, we are not going to leave you on your own. You have our back, certainly. So feel free to get back to us with whatever need you have. It's not just about business. It's also about support. And this is just the first series. We are going to be bringing out what is new in your business space, in the economy, and even globally, that whatever is likely to impact on your business. So thank you very much for participating. We'll be sending your certificates to you shortly. And we are looking forward to better business days ahead. Thank you, and Merry Xmas in advance. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Please, we would like to take another picture. When the busy wasn't part of the first one, the one we took in the morning.
Yeah, another 2 minutes. I'll call you 2 minutes.
So I would advise we all please turn on our cameras so we can have another group picture. Thank you. Again, I have another announcement, please, a quick one. Our MD will be having an exclusive session with school owners on the 11th of this month, that's next week. So all school owners that are part of this session should please join. You'll get an invite. So the MD would like to meet and speak with all of you on the 11th of December. Please make it a date. Thank you. Please, let's have our cameras on. Mr. Olabi, please, can you stop sharing?
Yeah, that's all. Stop sharing.
Okay, so Caleb, please let me know when you are set.
It's still sharing.
I need you to stop sharing, Mr. Olabi. Mr. Peter, please, can you stop sharing your slides? Thank you. Yes. So let's have our cameras on. Tamino, please, we want to see your face. Miss Downey, let's have your camera on. Prince, John Eckhart, Olabi. Thank you, Beto Onwuka. Thank you. I can see you're in your store. What are you into? What do you sell? Those are drugs, right? I think he's a pharmacist. I think he's into sales of drugs. Is that what you? I can see some things on your shelf.
Yeah. It needs to start onto our online bank, so I can order stuff.
Yeah, and we are planning on having an exclusive section for people into sales of medicine, pharmaceuticals.
January, we'll meet in
January, so you get an invite. Thank you, Mr. Bethel. Modukbe, you are eating. You didn't even invite me. I can see you eating. Okay, so Conducas Enterprise, can we have your camera on, please? Omolaya Shokumbi, please, let's have your camera on. Temenu, let's have your camera on, please. Thank you, Taiwo Oni. Thank you so much. Okay, so Caleb, are you ready?
Caleb is not up. Okay, let him stop.
Yes, Adefisayo, let's have your camera on.
I'm up. At the count of 3, please.
Okay.
We can all bring up that lovely smile.
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Please, hold on, please. We have some other people joining.
Okay.
Okay, Shokumbi is up now.
Shokumbi is up. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we are good to go. 1, 2, 3, go.